Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this new installment of the Wrestling Analyst. Today, we're taking a look at what happened on the episode of Smackdown from February 24th, 2023. Here we go. So, the show didn't start with the match right away, but I'll come back to the segments from the Bloodline, uh, and I'll just describe them uh, all at once instead of by bits like that. So match number one, Braun Strowman, Ricochet, and Madcap Moss versus Imperium. Now, these guys have been battling Imperium for a while now. Um, but is there really a rivalry? Is there really a feud there? Not so much. Uh, it's just, I think it's just to put Imperium over the top a little bit more than they are already. Now, during the match, Drew McIntyre comes out to observe. So, what the hell is Drew doing there? Imperium wins the match as Gunther takes the pins Madcap Moss after a power bomb. So, right there, Gunther is looking strong again after beating Madcap Moss last week for the retaining his title. And then Gunther goes on to show his title to Drew McIntyre, and the latter starts to take off his jacket to go in the ring and confront Gunther, but he is attacked by the Viking Raiders. And Sheamus comes to the aid of Drew, and then brawl ensues. Um, the Brawling Brutes come to the aid and everything. So there's a big brawl at ringside. So is that setting up a match at WrestleMania where Gunther is going to get challenged by Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental title? Now that would be awesome. So is that what we're seeing starting to build up? It's a possibility. So we'll leave it at that. We'll see what's going to happen next Friday on March the 3rd. So we'll leave it at that for now. Then there was an interview with Rey Mysterio. He's interrupted by Santos Escobar, and Escobar says he respects Rey. They're interrupted by Dominic. Santos that says that he'll beat some respect in Dominic eventually. So we'll see later on, because later on Dominic interfered in the match. Well, he was involved in Rey Mysterio's match, and I'll come back to that later. Then there was a segment with Jimmy and Jay. Well, the show started with Jimmy coming to the ring, interviewed by Kayla, and Jimmy basically said that he wants to see Jay in the ring during the evening. And then Jimmy, Solo, Eamon are in the dressing room, and Jimmy says he feels something different about Jay since Montreal. And Heyman says to Jimmy she should go in the ring alone. At the end of the show, Jimmy is in the ring. He says he knows that Jay is conflicted, hurt. He needs Jay to be there for him. But it's Sammy that comes to the ring, and Sammy's there. He's not there to fight. He needs to talk to him. And that Jimmy was a brother to him, says that Jimmy was the one to make him an honorary oos. And the fact that Jimmy did not hesitate to attack Sammy, that hurts Sammy. So Jimmy answers that Sammy is selfish. He's the one that betrayed the bloodline. And but Sammy tells that Roman manipulated all of them, and family doesn't test loyalty every week and everything. So, and Sammy glances at Jay, who's in the crowd, and Jimmy attacks him. And he looks for his brother to join him, and Sammy hits a haluva kick. Solo comes in, Sammy leaves, and Sammy and Jay look at each other. So, interesting look. So, it's all mystery. It's all the bloodline storyline is still going strong. And what I guess is going to happen is Jay is going to betray Sammy down the line and rejoin with the bloodline. But the bloodline has cracks right now, real cracks. And that's going to set up the title losses for the Usos and for Roman at WrestleMania. So that's what's in the cards right now. So I'll go for the rest of the matches in order after that. So match number 2, Kofi Kingston versus LA Knight. Now, just before that, LA Knight comes out and says that he'll give WrestleMania a WrestleMania moment. So he's basically asking to have a match at WrestleMania, and he's interrupted by New Day, which leads to the match. So, match, not bad, little comedy. And when Xavier Woods blows a trombone in the face of LA Knight, he's distracted, turns around. Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise for the win. Well, what does this match do? Well, little to both guys. LA Knight is coming off a big loss at the Royal Rumble against Bray Wyatt in the pitch black Mountain Dew pitch black match, and Kofi, well, he's coming on out of a big loss as well, having lost the NXT tag team titles in the last premium live event from NXT. So that's that. So little win for Kofi, but it's just to build up something maybe towards WrestleMania for LA Knight. Are New Day going to be involved in WrestleMania? Maybe in the Andre the Giant Invitational Battle Royal or something. I don't see any plans for New Day yet for WrestleMania. Now, for LA Knight, it might be another story. We'll see in the near future. Next, there was the face-to-face between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Now, Charlotte talks, and surprise, surprise, it's not Rhea that's coming out, it's Dominic. And Dominic is kind of coming on to Charlotte, but Charlotte just shuts him off, saying already has a Latino heat at her home, namely Andrade. If you people are not aware, Charlotte is married to Andrade, who is now in AEW. For those who are aware, well, sorry, but and then she's interrupted by Rhea Ripley, and they both come face to face, and Ripley and Dominic just leave the ring. So there wasn't really a big confrontation there, but it was just to set up maybe an animosity between the two. So let's go to the next match now. Match number 3, Natalya versus Shayna Baszler. Now, Natalya wants to avenge the fact that Shayna broke her nose some months ago And Shayna just want to continue building momentum for her and Ronda on the road to getting a title shot uh, at the World Women's Tag Team Championships. So Natalia is distracted by Ronda Rousey. Baszler takes advantage and locks in the submission to win. And Tegan comes in. She accompanied Natalia for the match, and Tegan comes in and interferes to defend, to protect Natalia. And Ronda says to Tegan Knox that next week she's done. And there was, therefore, with the image of the match that I put for this, is that next week it's going to be Natalia and Tegan Knox versus Ronda and Shayna. Now, the whole purpose of that is, like I said a little bit earlier, is to build Shayna and Ronda as a tag team for an eventual match against Damage Control, maybe, probably at WrestleMania. But we'll see how it goes. Now, I'm recording this after Raw from the 27th, but I haven't watched Raw yet. So I don't know what happened because I know that Becky and Lita were facing Damage Control for the title. So I don't know what happened in that match yet. So just to make that clear. So are we going to see Natalia, and not Natalia, but Shayna and Ronda versus Damage Control at WrestleMania? We'll see. So, but for now, I think that's where it's building up to. So let's go to the final match of the evening. So Karrion Kross versus Rey Mysterio. Now, Rey has beaten Karrion Kross a couple of weeks ago, and that's maybe why they want Dominic to be there. And he prevents Rey from hitting the 619. And after arguing with his son, Rey turns around, gets back in the ring, and Kross hits him with the Kross hammer and puts on the Kross jacket for the win. After the match, Dominic taunts his father. Rey is showing that he's having enough, but he doesn't hit his son. So Karrion Kross gets a win on Rey, but a tainted win because of the interference from Dominic. Now, when Karrion Kross came back, they were kind of building him. Well, not building him, but they brought him back and put him on the as a threat to Roman Reigns right away. And right now, it's like they're doing nothing with him. But what's happening there? Uh, I respect Rey Mysterio. Of course, he's one of the greatest, but he shouldn't be in a feud with Rey Mysterio right now unless they want to give him a huge win against Mysterio, which is a former world champion, and maybe go on to greater things after, maybe against Cody Rhodes, or we never know. But for now, he's in a feud with Rey Mysterio. But we all know that Rey Mysterio's direction is towards a match at WrestleMania against Dominic. That's probably what's going to happen. So they're building Rey versus Dominic slowly. And I've been saying that this match was going to happen at WrestleMania since the storyline broke out between the two. They just probably separated them from brands, just not so that people can forget a little bit about the rivalry and come back with it at this time. So That's it for the matches. As for the Bloodline storyline, I described all of it right now until earlier. One thing that needs to be said is that Roman will be there next Friday to address the situation with Jimmy and Jay and the Bloodline and the Sammy problem, the KO problem. This is gonna all be settled at WrestleMania. So you have a nice evening. I'm gonna go watch tomorrow is Thursday. I'm probably gonna watch Raw tomorrow. I've been working big hours lately, so that's why I'm so late right now. Uh, with COVID, with there's so many things right now that is hitting me left and right. So anyway, I don't want to bother you with that. Just to say that yes, I'm still batting COVID, as you can see, uh, and I'm doing 12, 13, 15 hours at work some days, so no time to do my wrestling analyst videos. So anyway, hope you get good. Hope you like this. Leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like I said earlier in the other videos, if you know people that want to have see wrestling content, maybe understand why WWE is doing this for in the storyline, or you want just to have fun, please make them join. Have a nice one.